You know what you feel, but you don't believe it. Someone asks if you're okay, and you freeze. Not because you're lying, because you genuinely don't know if what you feel counts. It starts small. You feel angry, but you talk yourself out of it. You feel hurt, but you find reasons why you shouldn't be. You feel tired, but you push through anyway, because tired doesn't feel like a good enough reason to stop. And over time, something shifts. Your emotions stop feeling like information. They start feeling like noise, unreliable, exaggerated, wrong. So you second-guess everything. You poll your friends, you replay conversations, you search for external proof that what you feel is real. Psychologists call this affective invalidation. It's the learned habit of treating your own emotional experience as inadmissible evidence. And it doesn't come from nowhere. Here's what you need to understand first. You're not broken. You're not overly sensitive. You're not too much or too emotional. What you're experiencing is a trained response. Your nervous system learned at some point that your feelings were dangerous. Not because feelings themselves are dangerous, but because expressing them was. Let's talk about what's happening in your brain. There's a part of your limbic system called the insula. It processes interoceptive signals, your internal body states, hunger, fatigue, anxiety, sadness. The insula sends a message, something is happening inside you. Then your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for meaning-making, interprets that signal. It asks, is this feeling valid? Should I trust it? What does it mean? In a healthy system, those two parts work together. The insula says, I feel sad. The prefrontal cortex says, that makes sense, let's respond to that. But if you grew up in an environment where your feelings were dismissed, minimized, or punished, your prefrontal cortex learned to do something else. It learned to override the insula. You're not really sad, you're just tired. You're not really angry, you're being dramatic. You're fine. You're always fine. This is called cognitive override. And when it happens enough times, your brain starts to distrust its own signals. So how do you rebuild that trust? Not through force, not through logic, through relearning. Step 1. Name without judging. Start by simply naming what you feel. Not what you should feel. Not what makes sense. Just what's there. I feel anxious. I feel sad. I feel angry. This activates a process called affect labeling. Research from UCLA shows that when you name an emotion, activity in the amygdala, your brain's fear center, decreases. You're not solving anything yet. You're just turning the volume down on the alarm. Step 2. Located in your body. Emotions aren't abstract. They live in your chest, your throat, your stomach. Ask yourself, where do I feel this? This is called somatic awareness. And it's how you start to differentiate between thinking about a feeling and actually feeling it. Your thoughts can lie. Your body doesn't. When you feel tightness in your chest, that's real data. When your stomach drops, that's real data. You don't need to justify it. You just need to notice it. Step 3. Ask what it's trying to protect. Every emotion is functional. Even the uncomfortable ones. Anger protects your boundaries. Sadness signals loss. Anxiety scans for threats. When you feel something intense, try asking, what is this feeling trying to protect me from? Not, why am I broken for feeling this, but what does this emotion think I need right now? This shifts you from self-criticism to self-curiosity. And curiosity is the beginning of trust. Step 4. Separate feeling from action. One of the reasons we invalidate our feelings is because we're afraid of what they'll make us do. If I let myself feel angry, I'll explode. If I let myself feel sad, I'll never stop crying. But here's the truth. Feeling something and acting on it are two completely different neurological processes. Feeling happens in the limbic system. Action happens in the motor cortex. You can feel rage and still speak calmly. You can feel grief and still go to work. Emotions are information, not instructions. When you give yourself permission to feel without needing to act, the intensity naturally decreases. Step 5. Build a witness practice. You can't trust your feelings in isolation, because your invalidation reflex will kick in. You need a witness. This could be a therapist, a journal, a trusted friend. Someone or something that reflects your experience back to you without judgment. In psychology, this is called mirroring. And it's how we learn that our internal world is real. When someone says, "That sounds really hard," and doesn't try to fix you, your nervous system begins to relax. It begins to believe, maybe what I feel does matter. Here's the model to hold on to. Your emotions are not the problem. Your distrust of them is. And that distrust was learned in relationship, so it has to be unlearned in relationship. With yourself first, then with others. You're not trying to feel more, you're trying to feel accurately. To stop dismissing the quiet signals before they become screams. You don't need permission to feel what you feel. But if you've been waiting for it, here it is. What you feel is real. Not because it's logical, not because someone else agrees, but because it's yours. And that's enough.